Game 7 in OKC. Nuggets and Thunder. Denver opened with a big lead. It didn't last. Midway through the second quarter, the adjustment. Alex Caruso guarding Nikola Jokic. And Allen, it worked.
Yeah, mouse in the house? Not really. He got him off balance, and you get also the free safeties running in, just frustrating Nikola Jokic early in this game. What an adjustment that the Thunder made for a Game 7.
Shanae, the defense leading to offense in that second quarter.
Speaking of Caruso, look at the energy, emotion. He is a championship piece doing the little things. He was a plus 40, plus minus, which is wild. But again, 37 points off of turnovers. That is their bread and butter.
Monica, how about the half that Jaylen Williams had, 17 points in the second quarter.
Yes, indeed. Looking to have a bounce-back game after a couple of subpar performances, but not in Game 7. This is when he rose to the challenge.
That's SGA. He had 35 points and 0 turnovers.
He gone.
Then Marcus, look at Jason Wallace, lefty flush.
That was great. They got
throwing it down. Thunder by 25 in the fourth quarter was just a coronation. It's a 30-point game. Caruso turning defense into offense. He had 11 points and 3 assists and 3 steals, and the Thunder put it away in Game 7 in convincing fashion. They are off to play and host the conference final against Minnesota beginning tomorrow night. We'll have the games on ESPN, and this surprised me. I will admit, when I went to look for the odds, I would not have thought the Thunder, coming off this series, would be as significant and convincing a favorite as they are on ESPN Bet right now. They are odds-on favorites to win the championship, followed by the Knicks, the Timberwolves, and Pacers in that order, as you see. So I'm going to ask the question this way. Monica, I will start with you.
Okay.
We have been calling the Western Conference the OKC Invitational for what feels like forever. Did they come out of this looking battle-tested or vulnerable to you based on what we've seen from them in the first 2 series?
I'm going to go with battle-tested, and here's why, Greeny. J.B. Bickerstaff had this quote during the Knicks series. He said, you grow, as quickly as you learn. And Alex Caruso, going into this series, talked about the opportunity for this young squad to go up against defending champions and to legitimately learn. To me, as we watch these playoffs, and we can get into a larger conversation about the last 4 teams left, the teams that have the ability to grow between April 14th and June, right, they have an edge on other teams. And I think that's what you saw from this Oklahoma City Thunder team. They were tested. They were on the ropes. I thought they did a good job.
Are they the team, Marcus Morris, are they the team to beat right now? Vegas is telling us they are definitively the team to beat for the championship. Do they look that way to you?
No. 170 minus 175?
Yes.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I like OKC, a really good team, and my brother's in the back. He's probably going to argue me down about this.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you now. I don't think that was battle tested. I don't think Denver really could, the matchup for Denver was a little tough. I think OKC had enough bids to guard Jokic, and then an adjustment at a Game 7 was really big for them, right? But at the end of the day, they had an easy Grizzly walk through. I just don't. I don't see battle tested. I don't see battle tested. I say good wins.
I think it's on a scale. I think it's on a scale because you sometimes think you have to go up against the best of the best to be battle tested. But when you're the youngest team in the NBA, which they are, they're the youngest team in NBA history to win 60 games, you're learning on the fly. And I think about last year. What did Jaylen Brown say after they won a championship, or what in their pursuit of during the final series? He said it's time to graduate. Like, that is the type of things that we're seeing. We've seen Shai Gilgeous-Alexander be tested. What are you going to do in the fourth quarter? And then he was one of the guys, even though in losses, he was showing up, like dropping 13 points in the fourth quarter. What are you going to do with a number 2 option, Jalen Williams, J-Dub? What are you going to do? Guess what? He responded from 6 points to having 17 in the second quarter, 24 in the night. So they're learning on the fly. But most importantly, you said this before we started the show. I feel like, what is it? It's a new day. Like, this is an indication that the game has changed.
Yeah.
Before I used to say you have to have multiple stars on a team to win. Now they're showing you a different rubric. It's depth and it's also defense.
Yeah, and I feel like you could say that were the Denver Nuggets the same team they were when they won the championship 2 years ago? No. But it still felt like a coming-of-age game for them because they got forced to a Game 7. They had a bad Game 6. You mentioned Jalen Williams, who had a bad game, and he had to show you something. That second quarter, those last 3 minutes of that half,
that was a stretch.
That's a horror film for any opposing coach right now that's getting ready. Of the other 3 teams left, if you've got to face them in an NBA Finals, or if you're Minnesota, that's what you worry about, that in 3 minutes they can flip a game like that without hitting a whole bunch of threes. That was just defense,
Straight up defense.
getting after it, and finishing on the break, and making you, punishing you for your turnover.
27 fast break points in totality in that ball game.
Crazy.
Tell me about the Alex Caruso on Nikola Jokic. It's a fascinating move. It's the kind of thing that throughout NBA history people would have scoffed at the very no. He was giving up 100 pounds and about 6 inches in that matchup.
I think it was an adjustment. You just had to throw it out there and see if it worked, right? But the thing that it actually did was slow Denver offense down. They were trying to get the ball into the Jokic every play, so no one really had a rhythm, right? So now when it didn't work and they were trying to get other guys into the rim, I think it just stalled the offense out.
I will also say, and I know that we were talking about it a little bit before the show, as much as we praise Jokic, that is a matchup that's a little bit puzzling. But Alex Caruso, Drew Holiday, there are a handful of guys that are problematic when they have to defend because they're just that versatile as defenders. So I think he deserves a little bit of credit.
Yeah, he deserves all the credit. Isn't this the same playoffs where Chris Finch was complaining to the referees about Rudy Gobert getting, manhandled because of the little guys? Like, as the post player, I know you played a lot of positions, but as a post player in the chat here, like, it is not fun. It is not fair when you have a guard guarding you because, one, they get away with more, and also they just are lower center of gravity. So when you dribble, the ball is right there. We saw so many uncharacteristic, strips, but the way you win in the playoffs is by doing things that people can't expect, and that was one.
Rooting you out of the post, which we normally see Jokic elbow, right? We normally see him
top of key
operate at the top, and that's how their offense orbits around him. But when you've got a 6'3" guy on you, you're supposed to take him down on the block, old school, and give him some, Akeem
in this
Olajuwon.
instance, you're taking the bait, though.
Exactly. It plays into, and as you said, it slows them down, Marcus, and it changed the way it was such an interesting move to throw out there. The wrinkle they threw in a Game 7 to let's try this and completely blow them away. They were so used to just the 3 waves of big men that he was throwing at them, but they did not do that in this game. Instead, they played this way.
But the David Adelman, this showed his rookie coaching debut, right? Like he didn't adjust. Like they literally continue to try to throw the ball and play after play after play. And I'm like, when do they call a timeout? Okay, let's see. This is how Caruso is guarding. How do we adjust that?
I'll remind you, the Nuggets fired their coach with 3 games left in the regular season. They wound up going to
I don't like anybody losing their jobs, but you see what they did. Like, they leaned on their depth. They had Jokic playing harder, leading from, I wasn't mad at what happened.
We may look back on this and say, wow, they took the Thunder to 7, depending on what happens over the course of the next 2 series. But as I say, there were still 3 teams at a level.
With the Minnesota Timberwolves in your Western Conference Finals, so a dominant performance on both ends from who is to be your likely MVP in SGA. He scored a game-high 35 points on 63% shooting. He had 0 turnovers. Defensively, SGA also held the Nuggets to just 3 points on 0 for 9 from the field when he was that primary defender. So he's got the offense, and now he's got the clamps on the defensive end, and now we have Chiney Ogwumike joining the program to drop some knowledge. Chiney, the Thunder now take on the Timberwolves. SGA averaged 35 points in 4 meetings earlier this season against them. Ant-Man, 22 on 36% shooting against them. How capable, I guess is the question, of Minnesota winning this